Welcome back to the arena. Of course, I have been studying Explorer to see what we should be doing in it, and I came across this deck, this Rakdos sack deck, and I was looking at it, and I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem like my kind of deal. I slightly altered this one a little bit. This is not the copy-paste deck, but we are doing a different deck that has more of my own specifications on it. I honestly think this is a little bit greedy, but we are trying to pull off one of two different combinations. Either the Cauldron Familiar and the Witch's Hunt, or the Oni-Cult Anvil and Experimental Synthesizer. Bloodtithe Harvester has a really nice place in this deck because he could either be sacrificed to the Witch's Oven or he could be sacrificed to Oni-Cult Anvil, depending on our situation and what we really need. Let's get down into the bread and butter of this particular build. Well, we are all familiar with Cauldron Familiar and Witch's Oven. It's a very neat kind of sack outlet. It can't go infinite, at least not in Explorer right now, but it does some nice stuff. It's a really nice blocker. You get to sack it with the Witch's Oven and then pull it back out onto the food by sacrificing the food token that you create by sacrificing the Cauldron Familiar, and then you gain 1 life and your opponent loses 1 life. Very nice way to get a little bit of damage off on your opponent. We all know about Oni-Cult Anvil and Experimental Synthesizer as well if you play in Standard. Oni-Cult Anvil creates a 1/1 colorless construct artifact creature token. Whenever one or more artifacts leaves the battlefield during your turn, it triggers once per turn, and you can also tap him to sacrifice an artifact, and Oni-Cult Anvil deals 1 damage to each opponent and you gain 1 life. With the Experimental Synthesizer, you exile the top card of your library, usually turn 2 to try to get land, maybe turn 3 to try to get like a Harvester or another Oni-Cult Anvil, or what have you, and then whenever you sacrifice it, get to do that again. Look at the top card, you may play it from exile this turn. So we got that going. We also have things like Bloodtithe Harvester, which you can sacrifice a Bloodtithe Harvester to do -X/-X, due to the amount of blood tokens that you control to a target creature, and X is twice the number of blood tokens that you own, which is great. Another sack outlet, Deadly Dispute. If you can see something, we have a lot of sack outlets in here. Deadly Dispute, you sacrifice an artifact or a creature, draw 2 cards, and create a treasure. Really nice to do on the Experimental Synthesizer. Really nice to do on literally anything else. Right. Why are we sacking all these things? Well, we have a card called Mayhem Devil, the Devil Daddy, large and in charge. Whenever a player sacrifices a permanent, it deals 1 damage to any target. That counts for food tokens. When you sacrifice a food token, you deal 1 damage to any target. When you sacrifice a treasure, you deal 1 damage to any target. If you sacrifice a blood token, it deals 1 damage to any target. Also, when you sacrifice the Urabrask's Forge's X1, you also get to deal 1 damage. So we are playing very greedy. We don't necessarily need Mayhem Devil to get wins with this deck, but it is quite nice to really ping your opponent for a lot of damage. This is where this deck gets greedy. We're running 4 copies of Urabrask's Forge and 2 of Weatherlight Compleated. Weatherlight Forge creates an X1 Phyrexian Horror creature token with Trample Haste, where X is the number of oil counters on Urabrask's Forge. You put an oil counter on Urabrask's Forge at the beginning of every combat. Whenever you create that X1, you sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. So on turn 3, when you put it out, he creates a 1/1, then a 2/1, 3/1, 4/1, 5/1. It gets larger and larger, and opponent has to deal with what's coming at him eventually. How are we getting to Urabrask's Forge, you might ask? Well, we have the Weatherlight Compleated, which is also a card that works with sack outlets. I actually am still very high on this card. I think it's very good in certain situations and certain kinds of decks, a Rakdos sack deck being one of them. So he's a 5/5 if you have 4 Phyrexian counters on it. But what is a Phyrexian counter and what does it do? Well, whenever a creature you control dies, you put a Phyrexian counter on Weatherlight Compleated. Then you draw a card if you have 7 or more Phyrexian counters on it. If it doesn't, you scry 1. So, first 4 turns that it's out on the battlefield, and you're sacking 1 creature per turn. Let's just say you scry 1 up to 4, then he becomes a 5/5. Still, whenever creatures die, On your side of the field, you continue to scry until 7 said creatures have died, which, if you can see in this deck, doesn't take very long. Then, every time one of your creatures dies, you draw a card after it has 7 or more on it, which is a nice way to get to more cards. Deadly Dispute gets more cards. Experimental Synthesizer gets more cards. Weatherlight Compleated gets more cards. And Fable of the Mirror Breaker, not only does it create a creature to sack to the Witch's Oven, or a treasure from that creature to sacrifice an Oni-Cult Anvil. But you could also discard 2 cards and draw 2 cards to get to kind of the synergies that you kind of want to happen in this deck. Sideboard. Well, we got 3 Claim the Firstborns in the sideboard. We have 3 Fatal Pushes, 3 Go for Throws, and 4 Brotherhood Ends. I like this combination quite a bit because we're going to be trying to kill the opponent's stuff, especially if they're playing mono green. Mono green is going to be very dangerous for us. Fatal Pushes kind of get some of the stuff. Go for the Throat gets a lot more. Mono red, we're going to go Claim the Firstborn and Brotherhood's End. And that's how we are kind of structuring this bad boy. I think it's pretty good. I went up against a couple of decks with this one in particular. And, this is really dangerous against rats. Doing 1 damage with Mayhem Devil wipes their field if you can sack 3 or 4 creatures, which is very easy to do with this deck. Thank you for joining today. Let's get into the arena and see how this bad boy does in action. And we're off to the races. Weatherlight Compleated, Oni-Cult Anvil, Cauldron Familiar. 1, 2, 3. We're keeping. We are keeping. Need to get some more things on the field. We need definitely some blood, some okay, the rest. Non-creature, non-land. Well, Oni-Cult Anvil, I'm pretty sure you're going away. Guess he could get rid of the Weatherlight Compleated. Not sure what to do here. I wonder if people have seen Weatherlight Compleated and Oni-Cult Anvil in action. Cauldron Familiar, he can't discard that, nor the Mayhem Devil. The Devil Daddy. That took a bit of time, but we are finally off to the races. Cauldron Familiar, take a damage, we gain a life. We get a Sulphurous Springs. What else? Harvester. Not that scary. Not that scary. Dropping this for red. Dropping the Anvil and passing the turn. I'm wondering if we block here. Huh. Now, we'll take 3. We get a Pathway. We get a Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Okay. Go to my turn. We get a Bloodtithe Harvester. Let's Experimental Synthesizer. Let's see if we can dig something really good out. Witch's Oven is pretty solid. I've never been one to complain about drawing Witch's Oven, and I guess we just pass it here. We got both sack outlets out on the field. We got the Mayhem Devil in the hand. We won't need mana after this point that much. Liliana of the Veil. Well, that is good.
Those who get in my way tend to regret it.
Opponent, what do you do with Liliana? We are each going to discard a card. I will discard the Bloodtithe Harvester. He discards a Fatal Push. Yeah, Fatal Push isn't probably going to do very much. You do not swing in? You do swing in. Okay. Well, unfortunately, he's going to be able to create the treasure. And we're going to block here. We're going to sack the Familiar, creating a food token. And now we play the Familiar by sacrificing the food token. And we gain 1 life, and you lose 1 life. Go to my turn. There we go. We did it. Weatherlight Compleated is a good one, but good one for another time. Let's drop the Mayhem Devil. Maybe we're killing his creatures first. Kill the guy that gives treasure. Or do we kill the Harvester? Yeah, we're going to do it now. Let's go over here. Not a smart block. But whatever would he do? Right? He's really got no choice. That's one.
Regret that.
Now, Witch's Oven. Sacking this. We deal 1 damage here. Now he can't kill the Mayhem Devil with the Bloodtithe Harvester. That's what we are going for. Sacking this. Dealing 1 damage here. Here. We get our 1/1.
You're gonna need a good.
There's the damage to Liliana. We gain a life. You lose a life. And we're good to go. I mean, I've seen all I need to see this turn. Flipping the Fable of the Mirror Breaker into the reflections of Kiki Jiki. Opponent. Even if we discard, we'd have to discard the Weatherlight Compleated. That's not my favorite course of action, to be honest. We'll lose them both. Oh. He popped a blood token. Hit Lily. No. No. Don't be hasty. Swings in for 2. Exiling the Cauldron Familiar. That's fine. Kill that. You're gonna push it, huh? Alright. Well, we lose the devil. We still kill the Lily. Block the 2 damage here. Do it like this. Now we have an interesting situation where we actually have a pretty good card that we're going to drop right now. We're going to actually do this right now as well. I know. We're not going to get much off of it. We actually lose the Oni-Cult Anvil here. That's really bad. So, probably got a little bit too hasty there. But, beggars, choosers, guys. Beggars and choosers. We need to start growing the Weatherlight Compleated. Another Harvester. Pretty good. Create a blood token. Copy the Harvester and do that. Is that what we're doing? If so, you probably win. That's exactly what we're doing, okay? What do you target? With your Harvester. Swings. Okay. Here's how we're going to do this. No, that doesn't make any sense, right? Block here. Sack it. We get the scry. Land to bottom, probably. We reveal a Fable. I think I'll leave that on top. We need something to do something to spend our mana on. And Fable of the Mirror Breaker seems like a fine choice. Fine. Another creature left the battlefield. We get another Piracy's counter on the Weatherlight Compleated, which is fine. He sacks that. And we go to my turn. Familiar. Sacking that. Creating a 1/1 here. Yep. Cauldron Familiar comes back out of the graveyard onto the battlefield. You lose a life. I gain a life. And then we Fable of the Mirror Breaker. We are the true Rakdos sack deck. And we move on. Don't have an abrade. You've got an abrade, don't you? He does somewhere, because he discards a Heartless Act. Knowing that I do not care about Heartless Act at all. Opponent. What are you copying? Okay, Bloodtithe Harvester, as you are wont to do. Creates a blood token. Goes after the goblin. That's fine. I get the scry. Sacrifices blood. Discards the Muta Vault. Good card. I still get the scry. You cannot stop me from scrying. Bottom. All the way to the bottom of the library. Though 1 more mana would be nice to activate the Bugbear every turn. Swings in for 2. 5. Altogether 5. He gets a Create a Treasure. Only 1 card in hand. Block like this. Sack the Familiar with the Witch's Oven. Scry. Mana bottom. Yeah, he just doesn't have enough pressure on the field to really hurt me all that much. We're going to sack that as well. Weatherlight Compleated is now a full-on 5/5 flyer bottom as well. Okay. We're looking for something to deal some damage. More specifically, whenever we're scrying. Opponent. Go to my turn. Dispute. Dispute's very good. Decline. This. Sacrificing food. Creating a 1/1. Pushing the Cauldron Familiar back onto the field. Swinging for 5. Here I come, baby. Down to 4. Now, my big guess is that he's going to do the Bloodtithe Harvester thing again. Oh. Okay, well, we'll do it early. We're sacrificing it a little bit early here. Witch's Oven. We put that to the top for sure. Yeah, that's very good. Did I do this yet? I did. Okay. Yep, just discard your Bone Crusher Giant. Here comes Hive. Oh. We can't let him swing with that. I think I get one more chance. Opponent. Come on there. Oh, he tapped the Hive. We're good. Yeah. All those little mistakes whenever you're versing a deck like this, it really just it becomes a problem. Okay, so what do we want to play? Maybe to go for the throws. He's definitely playing Shieldred in this shell, right? He's definitely playing Shieldred. But it seems like he has a lot of early game stuff, which is great. You're supposed to. Fatal Push seems good enough for removal, and 2 claim the Firstborns. Get a lot of removal out there. Go down a Synthesizer. Weatherlight Compleated worked like a charm. Go down one of those, go down one of those. These are not nearly as important in this kind of a matchup, so 2 pushes, 2 claim the Firstborns. Actually, 1 claim the Firstborn, 3 pushes. Our opponent is apparently a little bit upset with our choice of deck creation and has vanished from the face of the earth. So I will go to my alternative strategy of winning the Magic the Gathering game. We are going back to Cookie Clicker, and we will be back as soon as he is gone. Yay, we did it. We won. Woohoo! And we're going to opt to play first. Devil Daddy, Bloodtithe Harvester, Oni-Cult Anvil, and the Urabrask Forge. I think this hand is good. Kind of wish I had an oven, but can't have it all in the opening hand. Maybe a dispute. Guess that's where we need to go. Tap land. Bam. Opponent. All he has to do is drop a land, and there he goes. There he goes. Do we start with the Harvester, or do we start with the Oni-Cult Anvil? I think we want a Harvester first. Let's see how much removal he has. Yep, he's got the removal. Mono black removal deck. Perfect. Red has. Alright, what about artifact removal? Do you run a braid? No, but you will smash me in the face. That's fine, I'll smash you back. This giant hopefully is going to have a little bit of trouble getting through. Tapped land, Kroxa. Well, we got a Den of the Bugbear to discard. That seems fine. Oven, which is awesome. Now we could actually Oni-Cult Anvil, which is Oven. And now we're off to the races. 2-1. Bam. Take that damage. Sack this. Create a food token. Sack said food token. Create a 1-1. Deal another damage. And 16 life each. All of your damage, it comes to this. Not a whole lot. Tap the land. Bone Crusher Giant. Very good. Very, very good indeed. Well, we're going to drop the Devil Daddy. We're going to create a 3-1. Swing for 3. He blocks. Smart. No? Not smart. Okay. Taking 3. Let me see if we have enough. I sack this, then sack that. Okay. I don't think we have enough to kill the Bone Crusher Giant. But we can do this. Right here. Sack. No, leave that alone. Leave that alone. Because we'll block here and then sack this. You're killing my Devil Daddy. Alright, that's really good. He just emphasizes how good this deck is. Liliana of the Veil.
I'll have this fight finished.
You're gonna kill my
brunch.
my guy? Discards a card. That's gonna be the Harvester.
You won't be outsmarting me.
Yeah, because the Synthesizer is worth 2 cards basically. Go to my turn. Synthesizer. Kind of hoping we get land here. We do. We're going to pay 2 life. Play the Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Swing at the Liliana of the Veil. Do you want your Blood Crusher Giant or do you want Lily? You want your Lily.
You picked a fight with the wrong necromancer.
Fair enough. So we're going to have to sack a creature, probably. Push. Well, we sacrifice it ourselves. We'll at least get a food token out of it. Opponent. So that's actually bad news for us. We don't run any removal in the main deck. Fell right into that little trap, didn't I? Yeah, we'll sacrifice it, but we'll do it on our own terms. Oven.
Off you go.
I want to actually decline. I'm going to break this synthesizer. We create a 1-1. I drop the mana, put that to the bottom. We play the oven, move on to attacks, go after the face. We got to hit the face over and over again. Sack it. We have plenty of life that we could get from the Urabrask Forge. Treacherous Blessing. Whenever you cast a spell, lose 1 life. When this becomes a target of a spell of ability or ability, sacrifice it. Well, that's a weird one. You did get to draw 3. That's pretty good. That's pretty solid, actually. It's my fault for never having seen it. Swings. I take 3. I block here. I sacrifice it to the Witch's Oven. I'm gonna cook it up, eat it, gain some health. Right. Tap. Tapping out, probably not the way to do this, my dude. Not the way. Here's a forge. All we gotta do is go after face. Okay. We're gonna cook this up then. We're hungry. We're very, very hungry. He loses a life. Wait. If I just pop this, because... Yes. Sacrifice the food. Create a 1/1. Drop Witch's Oven. And go. Oh. Ouch. Children the Apocalypse. That's a big one. Certainly is large and in charge. Yeah, I know. I gotta lose 3 life. Come over here and block that. Then we sacrifice it to the Oni-Cult Anvil. Gain a life. Harvester comes out. That's fine. He is tapped out. That means that he's got to block with the Shieldred and the Bloodtithe Harvester. Oh, and by the way, we will gain some health with the food. My turn. Draw. Cauldron Familiar. Not the biggest threat, but definitely threatening. Create that. Copy. Wait. What? I can't copy that? Huh. Weird. Come at your face. That's got trample, dude. That's got trample. Oh, man. Well, we definitely want the go for the throats, especially for the Karaxa. We won that first game. Weatherlight Compleated can go away. Urabrask Forge was the rock star of this matchup. So we go down 2 Fables. Fable didn't really help. It rarely does in this deck, but it is the best red card, so we always have to run it. Yep, now we actually have ways to interact with his things. 1 mana, 3 go for the throats. No. We cannot. No way. Should we? Do we? 1 mana? Great hand, though. Well, it's an okay hand. If we could draw another mana, if we had 2 manas and 2 go for throws, Deadly Dispute, Bloodtithe Harvester, Witch Oven, this would be a definite keep. But that 3rd go for the throat seems a little bit obtuse. And I probably used that word wrong. Oh, God. Well, at least we have land, right? Crypt can go to the bottom. That's rough. That is a rough one. Okay, start with the pathway. Duress. Well, there goes Fable. Goodbye, Fable. Alright, Bloodtithe Harvester. Fatal Push. Go ahead and do it. I know you're going to do a Fatal Push. Oh, okay. We're mirroring it up. Swing. Block? Yes, okay. We trade them off. We play the Devil Daddy. Now, you may be saying that that is actually Mayhem Devil, but look up Devil Daddy. Just do it. Look up Devil Daddy. It's incredible. I'm telling you, if you want a good laugh, Devil Daddy is a way to get that laugh. Forge. Opponent. Discards. Draws. Out of mana. So we're able to just swing in here all willy-nilly like to get our damage off and sack our guy. Pass. Graveyard Trespasser. It's a very unappreciated card. It's actually pretty solid. Go to my turn? Yeah, sure. Well, the Harvester here. There's a 2-1. Roar. Attack. His ward is so good, or her ward is so good. Graveyard Trespasser has a phenomenal ward. Sheoldred, the Apocalypse. Interesting. Swings? Yes. Man, I'll totally trade this. Like, very, very willing to trade off pieces. And I'm happy with that. We get our own Devil Daddy and Oni-Cult Anvil now. Devil. Oni-Cult Anvil. We create a 3-1. No attacks. Pop the blood. Deal damage directly to the opponent's face. Okay, so we're going to keep him at 20. Kroxa. Yep, that's a thing. Devil Daddy hits him in the face. Kroxa. Alright, well, we're taking some damage here. Hit him in the face. Passes. Alright, opponent, we lose a couple more life. Synthesizer, though. Dispute. Dispute the Synthesizer. Yes, we're drawing some cards. Hit that. Dispute into dispute. Oh man, it is just trying to tempt us, isn't it? Like, that's really, really good. But we take 4 more if we do that, and we are assuredly dead. But if we pop, draw a card, lose 2 life, that's 2 more damage. Then we need 2 more damage to him. Let's see something. What do you think about this guy coming at your face? You don't mind it. Okay, so this is dangerous. But it will get that off of the field, I think. We're going to... Let me count. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. And then we attack this. Okay, we're drawing another card, guys. This is black. We pop that. We discard this. Pop that. We lose 2 life. Now, we pop this. How many cards has he got in his graveyard? Oh, I'm doing all of this, and I'm just handing him the win. No, because we lose 3 life with Kroxa, not 4. Technically, we survive. No. Oh, God. It would have been so much easier if you blocked there, my man. Now we're going to get Karaxa. We're going to get... What? When he enters the battlefield, each opponent discards a card. Okay, we could discard. Discarding Hive of the Eye Tyrant. Unless it escaped. Okay, we still lost a 3. He thought seizes us. Fair enough. My turn. Cauldron Familiar. Down to 9. Five, 1. Swing. Blocks. Ha! Yeah. Do you block? Yes. It's got 3 in the bin. We let that through. We dispute the treasure. We deal 1 damage to the Karaxa. Draw 2 cards. Drop a Bloodtithe Harvester. Sack. Wait, we could wait on that. We could wait on that. We're okay now. Going for the dangerous route. 4 cards in the bin. What do you have? Graveyard Trespasser. Oh my god. Alright, we're gonna have to remove it, I think. And we lose 1 life. Thank God it is day. Well, we're gonna pop the treasure with the Oni-Cult Anvil. We're gonna deal the damage to his face. Gain a life. Drop Oni-Cult Anvil. We're gonna go for the throat and kill this. Discarding the familiar. Alright, I think we got this. We swing. What a match. Oh, mwah. Yes. Oh, wow. That was fun. I don't know if it was good. But it was certainly fun. Let's go to a post-game wrap. So... This was an interesting build. I really enjoyed playing it. It was a match between Urabrask Forge, Weatherlight Compleated, Oni-Cult Anvil, and Experimental Synthesizer from Standard, matched with a regular Rakdos sack build. This deck is incredibly fun to do, and it has a lot of neat little playlines kind of built into the way these cards interact with each other, right? Like the Urabrask Forge, this sacrifices anyway, so you get the Mayhem Devil to deal the damage, right? Something for your opponent to always be thinking about. You also get bigger and bigger little X1s over and over again. Fable helps you get the cards you need. Deadly Dispute helps you sack things so that you can use your Mayhem Devil. Oni-Cult Anvil sacks things. Bloodtithe Harvester sacks things. Cauldron Familiar gets sacked. And Experimental Synthesizer sacks things. And Weatherlight Compleated and Mayhem Devil both benefit from that significantly. As well as that little bit of life gain from Oni-Cult Anvil. That last round, if you were watching that last round, if it was not for that little bitty, minuscule life gain, we would have easily lost that round. But just having that life gain from the Cauldron Familiar and the Oni-Cult Anvil is enough to kind of help this deck get into the late game. The later this deck goes, the better this deck is. Early game, Even though our mana curve is incredibly low at 2.0, we are better in the late game. The later the game goes on, the more damage we could get off. Either it being the Weatherlight Compleated, or 2 or 3 Oni-Cult Anvils on the field, 2 or 3 Witches Ovens on the field, whatever. It doesn't matter. This deck gets better over time, and removal spells don't really bother this deck at all. Overall, I'm going to give this one CoffeeStout's grade of approval of, yep, I'd play again. Yeah, this is pretty nice. I got to admit, I liked it. Wow. That's enough fanboying over the deck. Do I think this deck has weaknesses? Well, the way I built it, I put all of my removal and control in the sideboard. If you want to play best of one or whatever, I wouldn't necessarily do this. Maybe putting 4 copies of Go for the Throat or 4 copies of Fatal Push in here, and maybe getting rid of the Weatherlight Compleated. Maybe Weatherlight Compleated is a sideboard piece, and we are needing to put Fatal Pushes in the main board. And, 1 copy of Experimental Synthesizer, 1 copy or 2 copies of Weatherlight Compleated in the sideboard. This and that. It takes a while to kind of figure out the intricacies of what is going on with this deck, but I've played a lot of Oni-Cult Anvil decks, and this operates almost just like them, except for you get extra food with Cauldron Familiar, which you can then gain some life on if you're in one of those matchups where you need that extra life. Well, that's all I have to say about this one. Thank you for joining today. If you're still there, really appreciate you hanging out, seeing a kind of goofy deck that I kind of threw together with the mixture of the standard Oni-Cult Anvil shenanigans, as well as Devil Daddy and Cauldron Familiar Witch's Oven. Make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.